Hello again. I woke up this morning and came across a video for Diablo 4. It looks like it's a dev video for some new gameplay. I haven't seen anything on it. I'm looking forward to Diablo 4. I've been a fan of Diablo since Diablo 2. It's one of my favorite games growing up. Definitely taught me that people will do everything and anything they can to get something like an S-Torch or whatever else. At the end of the day, though, I have high hopes for Diablo 4. I know a lot of people out there probably don't, and I think that those reasons are absolutely justified, right? Diablo 3 kind of had a shit show, and then you had Diablo Immortal, which was a meme from the very beginning, and I think Blizzard just really doubled down on that meme and just wanted to get as much money as they possibly could. And now we have Diablo 4, right? We've seen some really good things with Diablo 4, in terms of like itemization, progression, even skills and talents. A lot of people have drawn contrast to Diablo 4 to PoE, which I think is good, so long as they don't go overboard, right? Don't reinvent the wheel, just do what you're good at. Anyways, so like I said before, dev stream came out, and we've got some new Diablo 4 gameplay, and we're gonna watch it together, because that's what we do. I'm gonna go ahead and flip over, and we'll go from there. What's up, Google? All right, here we are. Boom, look at this, mature content. If you are not a mature individual, this is not a video for you, okay? All right, let's see what we got here.
No. There it is. It's like, when is Dev gonna die? There you did it.
I'll avenge you, don't worry. Beautiful, disgusting Diablo.
Coffee. Hell yeah,
Welcome
brother.
to Adventure with the Dev. I'm Zavin Hartunian. I'm one of the lead game designers on Diablo 4. And I'm joined today with Bloodshed. We're going to be
Keemstar.
playing some
Just kidding.
dungeons.
I decided to go full werewolf with this one. Which build are you playing?
I'll be mixing up a little Bleed and some Hammer of the Ancients. And
So
I
what is this,
also got
Barbarian
Iron
and Druid
Maelstrom.
gameplay? Is that what we're seeing? And we're on a controller too. Okay.
Gordragon Barracks, which is a
Gordragon
really cool
Barracks.
Knight's Penitent
Sick.
Fortress in Fractured Peaks. What
Nice.
you're seeing
Ooh.
here is
Wait.
it's
I
one
want to
of
go
the
back. I want to go
fortresses
back.
of
I
the
want to
Knight's
go back.
Penitent, which is here is it's one of the fortresses of the Knight's Penitent, which is kind of the
Oh, I guess, okay,
military
that's
arm
fine.
of the
Whatever.
Cathedral of Light. in
Big
Fractured
map there.
Peaks. You can see as we kind of move through this space, we're constantly kind of going indoors and outdoors. Some of this was actually inspired by the Ruins of Secheron dungeon tile set in Diablo 3. We loved it when we made
that I don't like
something
that.
like that again.
You added
Wait.
traps like in Secheron.
Did
also?
he
Yeah,
say
so
that that was
actually
a
traps,
tile set
we went
from Diablo 3?
constantly kind of going indoors and outdoors. Some of this was actually inspired by the Ruins of Secheron dungeon tile set in Diablo 3.
Inspired?
We loved it when we made that. We wanted to
That's
try
kind of
doing something
concerning, right? Like, that's not just me. I mean, like, I'm all for taking inspirations from things and places, but just given, the past year and a half regarding some things that Blizzard had said and promised, and it's a little bit concerning. I don't know. And it's not, again, it's not that I have any issues with people taking influence from it, but I just want to make sure that I'm not buying a new game just so I can run the dungeons, or just so I can run the same dungeons that I've been running in Diablo 3, right? I'm not saying that that's what's happening, but that's interesting to me.
like that again.
You added traps like in Secheron also.
So
Yeah,
traps.
so actually traps we went really big on that in Diablo 4. Most traps have secondary effects that players can take
Why did we go
advantage
big
of,
on traps in Diablo 4?
whenever they find them. Yeah, so right there, there's a trap. They'll get you.
I know.
Speaking of Secheron, right?
Yeah, I mean,
that's
the big
not-
pendulums is what I
okay.
remember from Secheron, and trying
Alright.
to use those to attack enemies for me. What's one of the favorite things that maybe you've helped implement into the game that you're really proud of, or?
I'm gonna lean back.
We're not in it right now, but one of the first dungeons that we ever built, the first tile sets we
Excuse
ever
me.
made was actually the crypt. And we're like, okay, well, how do we make sure this
Okay.
feels like Diablo? So what we did is we went and played.
See, here's the thing. Yeah, I'm gonna sound like a little bit of a hypocrite, right? I do want them to take design influences and like art style influences from games like Diablo and Diablo 2. I loved those games, right? But for me, that's just purely because of nostalgia. That's not like the objective thing that they need to do. I'm just saying when they say that they take influence from those games, that actually makes me very happy. And so just to clarify, right? It's one thing to take influence from an entire video game and art style that game produces, and influence from a very specific part of that game, especially as it relates to dungeons, right? So, anyways, yeah, I'm a hypocrite, I'm contradicting, but yo, you give me more Diablo and more Diablo 2, I ain't gonna complain of that. I'm not gonna complain about that personally. So, yeah, that's sick.
Diablo 1.
I love Diablo
Played
1.
through the crypt, took a screenshot of what
Excuse
that environment looked like, and then made it in this engine.
That's awesome.
took a
So,
screenshot.
Ollie took a little bit. from
Love
every-
that. Hey, we're gonna draw influences from Diablo 1, so we took a screenshot. Or you could just play the game again. That'd work.
Diablo game.
Yeah, we looked at every single one. Yeah, even the names of some of these monsters, like these are skeletons, right? But even the names of some of these back, we actually went back to Diablo 1, like what do they call it? But anytime we can inject any of that, original feel, that original tone, I'm surprised we haven't had a friendly. There it is. I was about to say, I'm surprised the ballista hasn't shot us from off screen, and as I said it,
did.
Right there. Hi, Corpse Bro.
It'd probably be good to tackle these first.
Corpse Bow.
Get them off the battlefield.
That was like such a transformative monster. It started to really help keep the gameplay spaces distinct. There's a
transformative monster? It was a turret, right? Okay.
really big difference between a bunch of narrow corridors with walls and a big wide open space if you have a monster like the Corpse Bow who can shoot you if he can see you.
In the beta, is there any like end game goal maybe for people to reach?
We're keeping that at level 25, and then obviously they can complete the entirety of Act 1, which is the
right, and we still don't really know
full story.
You know, and I think that's actually a really good thing to talk about. We really truly don't know what the end game of Diablo 4 is going to look like at the end of the day, right? From what I understand, all of the beta and all the test footage and all that stuff, they had like a cap of level 20, 25, and anything past that is still pretty much unknown. So a lot of what they're talking about, we've already seen a lot of, right? Like Druid gameplay, Barbarian gameplay. From what I understand, this is new. I'm going to be real. I'm not very impressed so far. This looks not terribly engaging. So we'll continue to see how this looks. Things will probably pick up. But again, keep in mind, this is only level 20 gameplay, right? So...
Yep.
Oh, nice.
Beyond just like, you know, the main campaign, there's multiple...
Like, think about any sort of RPG or MMO that you've ever played in your life where you were level 20 and you were already saving the world and taking down the biggest bads of the entire game, right? And I guess that's my point, is it's level 25, so we shouldn't read too much into it. This isn't... Yeah, I would be surprised if we saw any groundbreaking mechanics, gameplay, or anything like that in this video.
Strongholds, there's a bunch of dungeons, there's a bunch of side quests on top of that. Each one of those is a little story.
P1,
you know, every dungeon that you play, you're going to be able to get a legendary aspect, you know, over 100
that would be cool.
in the game.
Actually, well, never mind.
We've tried to fill the dungeons with just a bunch of possibilities. Even if you run the same one over and over again, you're never going to be sure exactly what the layout is, exactly where the monsters are. There's a bunch of other, you know, neat surprises that can happen. Traps is one of those. We have a bunch of random...
I mean... To say that we'll never know what the map is going to look like, I think is I think that might be underselling the capabilities of your player base. I mean, literally every single ARPG with random map generation, including all of the Diablo games, eventually people remember and recognize, you know, the tile sets, and I mean that's how you get people to play your game on a professional level, right? Is they look at those things to be as efficient and as consistent as possible. So to say that you'll never know where you're at, I think that I don't know. That, again, another really interesting statement. People are going to tear that apart. Seriously, within the first 48 hours of this game, people are going to know exactly what they need to do in pretty much 90% of scenarios regarding the map. It's not going to be like that. That's not going to last very long.
Events
and we all know it too.
Anywhere in any dungeon, treasure goblins, everyone's favorite. Those are back too.
Hell yeah, I like treasure goblins. I'm down for that.
Little tidbits.
Journal page. Mother told me not to go, but the cathedral refused to tell us anything about father. What I found was much worse than I expected. The knight's pennant. Okay, cool. It's just
you can kind of listen to as you journey throughout.
As the dungeons go up in difficulty, like are there like different tiers, different rewards?
You know, all these dungeons that are kind of like randomly placed in the game. Every single one of those can become a nightmare dungeon at the end of the day. We actually have
a nightmare dungeon
built-in library of end
So I mean,
content
I'm assuming hell, right?
You're going to be able to play
like
all
Diablo
these
2.
things, get your aspects early on. As you level, get renown, they'll feed into that too, get even more rewards, and then by the time you hit endgame, you actually have a chance to revisit these dungeons, and when they become nightmare dungeons, they actually pull in a...
Maybe, okay, I gotta remind myself to talk on this a little bit, but the art style looks different in this video. Not necessarily the background, but something is definitely different from what I've seen in the past. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. We'll have to
Dungeon
check.
affixes alongside with them.
What's the most affixes you can get in one dungeon?
Oh, that actually, I'm not sure anymore.
Okay.
There's quite a bit. It's not like a one and done deal, right?
Okay.
You start with a couple maybe, but over time that number will increase. Oh, no. There it is.
So,
Ah, man.
okay, he died.
We did it.
Nice.
It's like, when is Dev gonna die? There you go. We did it.
I'll avenge you, don't worry.
Well, at least we know we're not playing on
I'm gonna try
God
to res you
mod.
without getting
God
hit.
mod.
Make it happen.
There we go. Welcome back
So that's
to the
actually
world.
that's actually a very small change we've made. Getting hit one time doesn't immediately break the channel. in Diablo.
That's
thought
good.
it would.
I
Yeah,
actually
That's
like
how-
that.
That's how it traditionally
that's
worked
good.
in the past, right? We actually changed that because we played the games too. We're like, okay, that guy barely touched me. That
Yeah,
shouldn't
and I
break the
think
channel,
that makes
and
sense,
that's
right? Like if you're a level 100 god, or I guess in the form of Diablo 3, if you're Paragon level 6,000 and one of your buddies die, right, and you've taken on all of the horrors of the world at that point, lore-wise, one of your buddies die and a fucking beetle bites your toe and it stops you from rezzing. Come on, yeah, I think that's a good choice.
done. Yeah, don't click that yet.
It's agreed.
Yeah, is it though? Sometimes that's a curse shrine.
Oh, okay.
And you won't know until you click
A
it.
curse
Like,
shrine?
we're gonna roll the dice.
I love that.
How do you
breaks,
know,
like,
though?
If you're like in
It's
the
just
zone.
RNG.
And it won't tell you. It won't say like curse shrine. It's like, that's a greed shrine. I'm gonna click it. Oh, okay. Lucky.
Okay.
We made it. This one's great. Enemies drop gold when hit. So
I like
it's gonna
that.
Hit a bunch of
More
things.
gold.
That's good.
More gold, let
Hey.
it rain.
There it is.
There you go.
The money bill.
What the
And then it
fuck
might
was
push
that?
you, especially if you're playing hardcore, right? It might push you.
Where's that been
beyond
the
your
entire
limits,
time?
so to speak, right? Put you in a
Yes.
position.
I want the
that-
whips
Yes.
back.
like,
That was
do
awesome.
I capitalize on this greed shrine, or
Do we
I
just not want to
possibly
show
die?
the actual game?
By the way,
Right? Like,
what I
that
said
wasn't-
about,
like, can we
curse
go back?
shrines-
Get paid.
There it is.
That's
Money
sick.
bill.
Do it again.
It might
What?
push you-
What did he
It's gonna hit a
use?
bunch of things.
All right, let's get.
There's like an ult or
Hey.
something.
There it is.
49-second
Money
cooldown.
bill.
And then it
Okay.
might push you.
We're
especially if
5
you're playing
minutes in.
hardcore, right? It
You
might
could have
push
used this
you
at least
beyond
6
your limits,
times.
so to speak, right? Put you in a
Yes.
position that
Maybe.
Yes.
you're like, do I capitalize on this greed shrine, or do I possibly die?
By the way,
I wanna
what
see
said
it as
about,
soon as it comes
curse
off
shrines
cooldown
is also
again.
true about healing wells.
That's what I want.
And
then
it could be-
sometimes it might
We're
be
at
a
40
curse
seconds,
level.
boys.
Wow.
Let's
And
see.
then enemies can pop out.
Yep. It actually
You
starts.
just got me on
it
edge
actually-
on
it actually
everything
s-
now.
It
I'm
actually
like-
So you
starts
got your
at
blood
that.
shrine.
If you break
Pretty
a
similar.
door,
That's been around for a
you
while.
might-
Actually, no. There's no.
Can we
there's
not
no
break
mimic
doors?
or anything.
All
like
right.
that, yeah. But actually, funny enough, monsters can open doors in this game.
Really?
Yeah. So if they
That's a
can,
change,
if they
right?
can see you, they are like. I mean, you
God
know,
are the
That's actually really cool. I need to be a little bit better about talking over the devs. But I was actually going to talk on that, right? Can we break open doors? Do we have to open doors? But kind of going on from there, monsters being able to open doors, I think is great. I would being able to open doors and break open doors are two totally different things, right? Like I would much rather have the monsters bust through a fucking door like the Kool-Aid Man rather than just casually knock and say, "Hey, is anybody home?" That's just me though. That's a preference. I think that would be pretty cool. Personally, I don't like going and jumping into a mob of 600 enemies, destroying them with apocalyptic fire, and then stopping everything so I can open a door carefully and quietly, right? Again, just my opinion, but I think that would be, I don't know. I just hope that we don't have to stop what we're doing to open a door casually, is what I'm saying.
they can
days of
they'll just open a door.
throwing firewalls over there.
And then how funny is this? We got a shrine, a well,
Oh.
and a chest. Sometimes a cursed chest.
So you're like,
We've-
you don't
we've-
just
you know,
click on it. You better be ready.
I'm just saying. So we try to keep things kind of interesting. We have a whole crew of people on this team who spend an inordinate amount of time.
So that's really interesting too, because this is the second time, I don't know his name, but we'll say Bloodshed. I don't know, featuring Bloodshed. This is the second time that he's brought up cursed objects, and there's currently cursed chests and stuff like that in Diablo 3. But the way they work is it's essentially like a mini event, right? You find the cursed chest, you find the cursed object, you have a mini event, and then you get the rewards after. So it's basically a time sink more than anything else. But the way that he's talking about it is it sounds like that it might be a cursed chest or it might be a cursed shrine. So I wonder if it's just going to be something along the lines of, sucks to suck, bro, you're cursed now. You take 5% increased damage. I don't know. That would be really interesting. But not having like a tall tale, I guess you could say, indicator of what a cursed item is going to be, I think is fine, so long as it's not too much. But I mean, for people who are trying to push things, and again, we don't know what end game is like, but I would imagine for people who are trying to push greater rifts in Diablo 3, if there was a chance of one, like a conduit shrine, for example, instead of it giving you conduit, it gives you, you take 60,000 points of damage every 6 seconds, that would obviously put a rut in a lot of people's runs. In that particular scenario, right? If they can't tell, there's nothing that they can do about it. Artificial difficulty is never a good thing. Dark Souls 2 showed us that.
Making couch co-op as awesome as we're feeling right now.
Yeah, like we can do everything independently, our
Yeah.
skills and abilities. I was like, maybe I do have some upgrades here that I haven't put in.
Oh
Now
man,
that
this
you
guy's
mention
decked
it.
out. He's
And
got
it's like you
legendary
just push
items and
one button
shit.
and jump
Damn.
right in also.
Very, very seamless. Logging out, logging back
He's
in,
got
switching characters.
damn game
do all those
masters
things.
and their
Alright,
cheat
let's see where
codes.
we are. All right.
Put some work in.
It's a good sized dungeon there.
You chose this dungeon. Is there any surprises at the end?
I mean, if I tell you.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I was gonna say, don't
I
spoil it, bro.
Wouldn't be a surprise then. I guess we'll have to see. I was kind of getting that feeling that there was something here. Blood boils.
So this is interesting.
Are they coming out of?
Yeah.
So at the top here, and I haven't noticed this before, but I think what this is showing is what what all the players are currently attacking. That's actually kind of cool. And the reason why I like that is because this could potentially have more competitive implications for the game down the line, right? So for anybody who's played World of Warcraft, for example, like target is really important, especially if you're pushing like high level arenas and stuff. Like you need to know as much information as you possibly can if you want to hit things like lat or 3000 rating or whatever. And you know, seeing something like this, I don't think in any Diablo game, and it's been a minute since I played Diablo 1 and Diablo 2, but I don't think in any Diablo game we've ever had the option where we can see what the other players are attacking. And I think that's what this is up here. I haven't heard them talk on it at all, and I haven't seen anything kind of talking about this otherwise. So I might be late to the game, but I think that's pretty cool. I think that's really cool, and that actually gets me excited for some potential implications of what that might mean down the line. Hey, it's Future Tyler, and Future Tyler just wanted to send you a quick message or talk on something that he completely did not notice in the actual reaction itself, and it's pretty straightforward. This video is done through a two person single, you know, like one TV 2-person thing, right? So the reason why I bring that up is because the visuals of what that might look like for the players, or what that looks like for the players, is probably going to be completely different from someone who's sitting down by themselves at a computer and not sharing a screen with anyone else, right? With that in mind, with two people sharing the same screen, it makes sense why you would see P1, P2. It makes sense why you would have two different, health bars for enemies, that sort of stuff. So Future Tyler just wants to apologize for being the literal most unobservant person in the entire world. However, I still do think it would be good and really cool to put those things into the game, right? Just my opinion. I'm not a developer though, so that's just me. Anyways, back to the video, right? Like competitive Diablo PvP is something I've always wanted, and I think that if they do it right, this could help with that. I don't know. Oh, you guys don't see it though, do you? Here, let me bring it down. I'm sorry about that, y'all. Look at that. Oh my gosh, I'm over here talking about the world. I'm so sorry, everybody. I'm bad at my job. There you go. Boom. Now you can see it. So this is what I was talking about up here, right? Is these things, if you continue to pay attention to the gameplay, you'll notice that these will consistently change, and it seems to be because, let me bring this down too. It seems to be because of the fact, it just seems to be that these it's just showing what the players are killing. I think that's good, is basically what I'm saying. I don't know if that's what it is or not, but yeah.
Yeah, this isn't a good thing. We should get rid of this thing.
Okay, I think we're
They
good
just keep
now.
spawning until you break it.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's just those knights. They left a mess. We gotta clean it up.
Beautiful, disgusting Diablo.
As it should be.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
when you're doing
that
like
is right.
co-op, can
As
you,
it
like,
should
when
be.
one person wants to go to town, do you have to accept it, or can?
No, we call it couch justice, right?
Couch
Like if you want to do
justice.
something and I don't want you to do it and you do it,
Yeah.
I'll just like punch you on the shoulder. Like,
Yeah,
don't do that.
yeah. I noticed earlier, like if I pause it,
Love it.
or whatever, the game's not paused, is it?
Nope.
Yeah. So
Okay.
on the dungeons, did you guys have like a target average playtime for a dungeon? Like if I only had,
You know, we actually tried very, very short, like, 5-minute dungeons. We built, I think the longest
5-minute
we tried
dungeons?
internally was maybe 30 to 45 minutes.
So you got an obelisk there.
And we kind of figured like, okay, well, if we make
What is that? The
something kind of
green
reasonably
shrine? Oh yeah,
sized,
okay. So that's the
it can
shrine
always
that they picked up
grow.
earlier.
So when you
I
hit
might have missed
Nightmare
it.
dungeons, things just get harder and they automatically already get slower, so it takes longer to do them. But one of the other things that we did is we made cellars in every zone that you can find.
Cellars?
And every single time you go inside,
Wait, we're
one
killing
of
blood
those,
boils
they can
again?
have a completely different outcome. There's a whole quest
Oh,
line
there's the whips.
later on in the game that you can find.
Okay.
That has to do with kind of a major character in the game.
Oh man. Okay.
And it's a
Is
side
it
quest.
gonna be
It's
in
a side
beta
quest.
or
You're
like
no. This is like well beyond, unfortunately.
Okay.
But point being, it's actually.
Okay, so this is another thing that I've noticed, and again, I haven't noticed this in other games, but we have P1 and P2 items. And if anybody comes across this video, let me know down in the comments. But is this a mechanic that's been confirmed that where maybe everybody can see what's dropped for the party, like Diablo 2, right? So if you ever played Diablo 2, items drop for everybody in the party, and it's just basically who can click the fastest to get the best items. Which I personally thought was hilarious. It's what I grew up with, and I don't have an issue with that. But I know in today's world, that's a totally different thing. So it seems like this is kind of like a halfway point, right? You can see all of the items that have dropped for everybody, but you can only pick up the ones that have dropped for you, right? And I know that Diablo 4 is making some headway in regards to trading. So this could be some sort of mechanic where, you know, maybe an item drops and you need it for a barbarian, but it dropped for a druid, and you say, hey, I'd like to trade that, and let's use this incredibly new awesome trading system for that to happen. I don't know, but that seems to be what this is. I don't know if that's confirmed or not, so if anybody comes across this video, let me know. I'd love to know.
A main character from the campaign that has their own side quest line that you can go and experience, and that quest line takes you through, you know, 2 cellars and a dungeon.
Not everybody's just gonna do everything now. Always.
Well, unfortunately, that's all.
Well,
the time that we have
there are
today.
always
Why you gotta do this?
okay. There are always people out there that do everything anyway, so that wouldn't have. Yeah.
Don't worry, you have open beta coming. Everyone's gonna have a chance. They're gonna kill monsters, get loot. It's gonna be great.
My name's Bloodshed. I guess I'll see you next time.
Yeah, and I'm Zavin Hartunian. Thank you for joining us for Adventure with a Dev.
We gotta
I'll
go
see
back
you
to
all-
that.
Why you gotta do this?
Don't worry, you have open beta coming. Everyone's gonna have a chance. They're gonna kill monsters, get loot. It's gonna be great.
My name's Bloodshed. I guess I'll see you next time.
That did not sound very enthusiastic. My name is Bloodshed, and I guess I'll see you next time. Yeah, he sounds like he did not have a good time.
Yeah, and I'm Zavin Hartunian. Thank you for joining us for Adventure with a Dev, and I'll see you all in hell.
Oh, I like it. I like it. Okay, so here's my kind of initial thoughts on this whole thing. Let me switch this back and kind of change some things back. So my thoughts are pretty straightforward, right? The gameplay was not very engaging. It didn't seem like anything too crazy or revolutionary. But obviously, a lot of the things that we've talked about and seen with Diablo 4, I mean, we know that at the end of the day, it's a Blizzard title, and there's going to be issues just like any game has, right? But for the most part, the gameplay is probably going to be pretty fluid. And me personally, even though that wasn't very engaging, I don't think that we should be taking a level 25 playthrough of a single dungeon out of the entire map and saying, oh, this is what the whole game is going to look like, right? I think that's jumping the gun just a little bit. However, I did want to look at one thing, because that did not look the same from what I've seen in the past. So let's see. So we're not going to watch a 50-minute video, but what I would like to see, or maybe I'm wrong. Oh, there's a live gameplay going on right now. Oh, that's pretty cool. Okay, let's take a look at the demo. Let me move this back down. This looks different, doesn't it?
You brought a clip?
Yeah, I did. I found it.
Nice.
I found a clip on the floor.
Found a clip.
This looks different to me.
So, the some strongholds will actually become towns after they'll have vendors, waypoints. Other strongholds might unlock a shortcut path.
Maybe it's because they, again, this is a demo, and maybe it's because they don't have all of the numbers flying all over the place and whatnot. But this looks different to me. This doesn't look like the same game. I mean, it obviously looks like the same game. It just looks like... When was this video posted? 2 weeks ago. This video was posted 2 weeks ago.
About Codex of Power, so and obviously going through dungeons ends up
Go back? What's up, Asmongold? I type in Diablo 4 and the only thing I see is videos by
Yes.
Asmongold.
It's like, when is
I thought it would. Yeah,
that's how it traditionally worked in the
That looks completely different.
past, right? We actually
Mhm.
we actually changed that because we played the games too. We're like, okay, that guy barely touched me.
Okay, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. But at the end of the day, I am excited for Diablo 4. And I can't really form an opinion of whether or not I think the game looks good until I actually play it. And I think that's fairly. I think that's okay to say, right? Obviously, just like everybody else, I think all of us have been burned a little bit, and so proceed with caution is the name of the game here. But remain hopeful. Hopefully it's a good game. There's been a lot of really great things that we've seen. Diablo 4 is obviously in the spotlight for a reason right now. And I think it's not only because Diablo 4, I don't think it's just because it's Diablo, but also I think a lot of people are looking to this game to see if Blizzard is going to put their foot in the right direction in terms of doing what's right for their community. Now, I know that there's going to be some people out there say, oh, at the end of the day, it's about money. You're right? At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. There's a board of directors, there's shareholders who are going to make decisions and say developers do this, CEO do this, right? Directors, managers need to do X, Y, and Z. And at the end of the day, that's what it's about. That's totally fair, right? However, I think given the publicity revolving around a lot of the things that have happened with Blizzard as of late, just in the last few years alone, I think that a lot of people are really looking to this game to see if Blizzard is taking advantage of the opportunity for humility and doing what their community wants. I don't know, though. That's just my opinion. Just one random dude's opinion who has a little bit of coffee. Anyways, that's all I wanted to go over today. I hope everybody's having a good day, and I will see you later. Goodbye.